And let's get to Joe in Maine. Joe, you're live.
Hey, John, I just want to take 30 seconds of your game day to congratulate you and to let you know that you're doing radio wrong. I'm not sure you're aware of this, but we're not supposed to have any small independent radio station owners by 2021. We're supposed to all be listening to these consolidated giant radio corporations that get so far away from their audience that they have no idea what they're doing anymore.
iHeart, Entercom, and all the big ones that basically tell you what to do.
Discovering your little group, it's like finding a colony of thriving dodo birds. I'm so excited to find local independent radio that is actually making a real difference. Thank God for you guys.
Oh, Joe in Maine, that's so nice of you. You're making Martha blush and laugh.
Joe in Maine, I think he's like... He's tied for best caller of the day so far.
I go. We got two calls of the day. Yeah. Joe and Maine and Ivan. We got to do two. You're tied for best call of the day, Joe.
I'm going to be listening forever. You guys are great.
And thank you, because people don't realize how tough this is. I mean, we schlep around. Like right now, I've got a very sophisticated mobile system, but for whatever reason, right now we're getting an echo back. We got our engineering. We can't figure it out. We got to deal with that. I mean, this is the things you deal with in our business as you go around the country. But the key is we give you a voice where you had none in the past, and no one tells us what to do. And we're totally right. We're totally funded by our donors and our advertisers, and that's it. So we have no corporate executives telling us what we can and can't do. We're simply guided by the FCC rules. But, Joe, thank you. We're in Atlanta. I'm going to be here for the next 2 weeks. Got a lot going on here. We're trying to buy a radio station, and Martha's involved in that. But, look, Martha, thank you for coming. I was in Atlanta, and Ann said to me, we got our 10-year anniversary coming up. What should, it should be celebratory. What do you're in Atlanta. What are you going to do? Do you have anything in mind? And I'm like, no, I really haven't thought about it. It is kind of a big deal. And Ann says, call Martha and get her down there for the week, and that will be celebratory in and of itself.
I wouldn't miss it for anything in the world. I've known John Fredericks for 10 years, and I remember, meeting you at the General Assembly and seeing you literally take over the airwaves across our nation over the last 10 years. And what you bring to the table, nobody else does. Nobody does. Nobody tells you what to do, what to say. You speak truth to power. You ruffle feathers every day. I love stirring that pot. And I learn from the best.
You're accusing me of ruffling feathers?
I learned from you.
My goodness.
And that is, I'm not afraid to say things that aren't popular, and neither are you. And I learn from the best. I learn from you. And, and I think that by the number of calls that we're getting with your anniversary, I mean, it's from all over the country.
Game day, baby.
People talking about how grateful they are to you for this show and for giving people a voice and not being afraid to fight, and not just fight, but fight to win. And here we are, barnstorming Georgia. We're fighters. We don't give up. We don't surrender. We keep fighting. And as you said, this is day one. Tomorrow starts the next phase.
John Fredericks Radio Network. Thanks, Joe in Maine. I appreciate it. Ivan in Woodbridge. Ivan, you're live, line one.
John, good morning. Martha, good morning. John, I have to say happy anniversary. 10 years of your show is just awesome. I've said this to you before. I've been tuned into you for many years. I think it may be 9 years. Every morning, John, we've been together. We've never met, but I feel like I know you as good as any good friend of mine. And you've done an excellent job all these years. So happy anniversary. But I didn't call for that. I called for 3 or 4 more points. And
I was hoping you called for that.
Well, that's motive enough. But this election today is the ball game.
Right.
I am calling every Georgian within my voice to please get out there. I'm in Virginia. I can't vote.
Right.
But your vote is worth like 10,000 of me, an average American, raising a family, doing the right thing, trying to be a good citizen, paying taxes, going to work, all that stuff that we do as middle Americans. You guys, for every vote you have, You're speaking for all of us. So as a Virginian, I'm begging you, Georgia, get out there. Do the right thing. Save this country. I mean, I believe me, I am as resentful as everyone over this steal of the vote on November 3rd. Believe me, I am. But we got to get out there. And your vote is not just your voice. It's everyone's voice in this country. It's the Constitution's voice in this country. We got to get out there. You got to vote, guys. I just, needed to get out there and tell everybody. I'll give you one other thing. Pelosi, I understand on another news program, I heard that Pelosi yesterday announced that she wants Washington, D.C. to become a state.
Yes.
Well, my gosh, Georgia, if you don't vote, D.C. will be a state, and we will permanently be in a socialist country. You've got to get out there and vote. The nation is depending on you. So as a citizen of the United States, I'm begging everyone who could vote today out in Georgia, who could vote for Loeffler and Purdue, get out there and do it, please. You're voting for me and my children. So there's that. Also, a couple of more things real fast. John, why hasn't the president appointed a special prosecutor?
I don't know.
For the election fraud and for the China Joe Biden.
It already should have been done. It already should have been done. I don't have the answer to that, Ivan, because he keeps getting bad advice from Mark Meadows and the other swamp monsters in there, to be honest with you.
Meadows is turning out to be
he should have just kept firing firing attorney general, acting attorney generals until he found one who could do that. That's the action. We got to get action. We got action last night from Kelly Loeffler. Got to get action. And so talk is cheap.
And speaking of talk, I want one last point, John, if you will. We need to call, we need to email, we need to rally around Vice President Pence and let him know there are American people out there that absolutely understand that there was a steal on November 3rd. And he cannot be an establishment Republican. He's got to be a team player on the Trump team. He's got to step up to the bat. He's got to swing. He's got to do the right thing for America. He understands the future of this of a one-party Democratic system. It's going to be. There's no difference between a Democrat and a socialist. No difference at all. And if there is, let me know what it is. But the people in the audience, and I would like you to encourage this, John, get out there, call, email, rally Vice President Pence. I'm sure his contact information is online and available. But we need to do that today. While Georgians can go out and vote, the rest of America can reach out to Vice President Pence and tell him how to vote. And so this is a major election day in the country. And with that, I'll say you've done a great job over the years, John. I've enjoyed your program. I think 9 years, every morning.
That's awesome.
90%.
Thank you, Ivan.
I'm an FOJ all the way.
And
right,
FOJ
Godzilla.
all the way. Amy,
Yep.
Amy caller in Atlanta says, Ivan Kara is the caller of the day. So thank you, Ivan.
Ivan, you're the best.
All right, let's get to Colonel Mike, line 3. Colonel Mike, you're live.
Oh,
yes, sir, you're live, Colonel Mike.
Good morning, Colonel Mike.
hey, Martha. I only called in to wish you well and Happy New Year, both of you.
Happy New
and
Year.
It's good that you're out of witness protection. I haven't heard from you in a while. But I'm not going to ask you guys anything about this thing. It'll happen tomorrow. The only thing I saw and I watched overnight was that the president said he hopes Pence does the right thing. And I know, Martha, you've been following Pence for a while. What do you think? He's going to do the right thing?
He is. I believe that he is. He's a good man. He's been to my farm, been to my home, met my family.
Well, wait a minute. I'm a good man. I've been to your farm, too. I mean, I got in there free. I got in there free because I knew John Fredericks.
And he and Karen are good people. I believe he's going to do the right thing.
Oh, great. Okay. Anyway, Happy New Year to both of you. Have a great show.
Happy New Year.
Let's get to Nancy in Atlanta, line 1. Nancy, you're on with John, Martha, and Richard Barris.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So nice to talk to everybody. Just a couple things this morning, John. I want to remind everybody we're having a Mega 285 ride tomorrow. So if you're in Atlanta and get away starting about 9 a.m., we're going to be going in the slow lane around 285, Trump flags and American flags, and then going to the state capitol about 11 for a protest at 12. And if you can't get off work and come to Atlanta, go to your county courthouse at your lunch hour with your flag and let our elected officials in Georgia know we are here, we are watching, and we're not giving up. Now, John, I have to tell you, congratulations on your 10 years. I had no idea. I just met you in November, and you've just done so much for Georgia. I cannot thank you enough. You have challenged me in so many ways. I've never called a radio station in my life until I called you. I've never protested. I went to the Trump rally last night for the first time in my life. I don't do big crowds and all that stuff, and I've just been getting out there and being an activist. So I have to tell you what I did as my covert action last night.
What was that?
I got kicked out of the Ivanka thing because
Right.
my signs, "Where's Kemp?" Oh my gosh. And so I knew I couldn't do that at the Trump rally. So I printed out my sign that I wanted to take, which is "Recall Kemp," and I pinned it with safety pins on my T-shirt. So I could open my coat, and it looked kind of grunge, I have to tell you, it's kind of cool. And I could open my coat, and once I got in and I'm in the crowd, I'm walking around with that. People are like, "I love it." They're giving me thumbs up. I printed out business cards with your name, your app, when you're on, War Room, in our
Unbelievable.
Facebook page. And I probably handed out over 75 cards. I talked to people that are retired. I will volunteer.
Go,
Tell me
Nancy.
what I need to do. I am pumped up. We are adding to the FOJs.
Go,
That's
Nancy.
unbelievable.
Okay,
That's
she's tied for
the
caller of the day.
So Nancy had a Trump shirt pinned to her shirt under
Uh-huh.
her coat. She was opening up her coat, so that was kind of like
Covert.
a flasher.
I love that.
Nancy the Trump flasher.
Nancy the
There
Trump
you go.
flasher, tied for caller
Recall
of the day.
Camp. Recall Camp. Ooh, baby.
So let's get to Dave in Memphis, Tennessee. Dave, line 1, you're live.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good.
This is the first time I've called a radio show in 25 years.
Thank you.
And I live in Georgia. I wish I could vote today. Of course, if I was Democrat, I could probably figure out a way to do it. But I need a minute just to implore the people of Georgia. I understand your frustration. I'm frustrated. I understand you feel like your vote on November 3rd didn't count. I understand why you would not want to waste the time or the effort to give a vote today. The most important right, one of the most important rights you have is the right to vote. What's sometimes unsaid is that you also have a right not to vote. I've done that too as a protest vote in the past. This is not the time to exercise that specific right. You need to, for the people of Georgia, my fellow citizens in Georgia, you need to think of this as the state of Georgia is a mass unit. This is a triage operation. Right now, we've got to stop the bleeding. We know the problems are there. We know the fraud happened. We will have our time, hopefully, to be able to deal with it. But if you do not get out and vote today and hold your nose and vote for these two candidates and we lose the Senate, then for at least 2 years, we have no opportunity to do anything about what's happened. And who knows the disaster that can occur to this country over the next 2 years. So put a tourniquet on the wound. Go in and vote today. Even if you don't like the candidates, suck it up. Go vote. Do what needs to be done to stop the bleeding so that we can live to fight to fix the fraud that happened to this country. I beg of you, I implore of you, if you are sitting on the fence, it's time to get off. Go vote. Go vote. Please go vote. Thank you, John.